Okay guys, this is our 6 PM race-ish on Sunday, so we're at Wheelspin Racing League for the final race of the season. As you can see, unfortunately, it's an extremely bad turnout, and at the moment there's just 8 drivers. All their glitches is jumping in during qualifying, so we'll be up to 9 then, so that's something. Right, okay, so we'll be... It's going to be short qualifying, 50% race. It is the final race of the season, and it is a championship battle, so they both... The championship drivers have turned up, so Jan and Golden Tornado are fighting for the championship. Share the stream. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I am still a bit... It seems to have come back a little bit today. I don't know why, mate, but it's, yeah, I'm feeling worse today than I did yesterday. It just feels like it's come back a little bit. So, there we go. What's happening here? What are you waiting for? Ah, there we go. Strange, I've never seen how to start qualifying before. Thanks, Glads. Same here, mate. It's been a privilege with you, both commentating with you and driving with you elsewhere and everything, so... Same Manly, thanks for that. Okay, just waiting for someone to come out then. Apparently we're doing Austria. I thought it was Brazil, but I'm sure it's supposed to be Brazil last race of the season, but I must have changed that. It's definitely supposed to be Brazil last week and the week before. So I'm not sure what happened. Just one more share on the stream. Just because the drivers aren't turning up, don't mean I share the stream about and get a few in, if hopefully. So, Pick Loco first out then on outlap. Just took the stream off my phone. Be lagging around because I'm trying to stream and be lobby host this evening, so fingers crossed it goes alright. Don't blame me if it doesn't. I did consider just racing, but it goes off target. That wasn't me, mate. That was my dad doing that, not me. I've actually got a full cup of coffee which I've just picked up. Vice Racing, hi, buddy. Yeah, thanks for joining me in comms last night, Vice Racing. That was good fun to have you last night. Just a reminder to everyone, we got so this is WRL, this is Wheelspin Racing League, final race of the season. It's already been put off for two weeks. This is the third attempt of hosting it, and obviously we're short. But it's gonna get done tonight regardless, so it's out of the way, and they can move on to their next season. Doesn't look like that will be involving me, but I'll speak to Bob about that first. I'm not saying 100% glad that I'm leaving. It's just the way the league is at the moment. It's difficult to see anything happening, to be honest. But we'll see what they want to do. I guess Might actually be a good idea if everybody just takes a break till a new game comes out, and then we worry about next season on a new game instead. That might generate some interest in the league. But I'll leave all that up to Bob Dylan in a way. So, Glitch became the first driver on a proper lap after Piccoloco invalidated out the final corner. And he's heading round, so should be expecting somewhere in the 104s for pole position. Maybe a bit. So normally a bit close around here. So 106 for Glitch to start us off with. He did say he hasn't played for a long time, so don't expect too much. So he's basically come in because the numbers were down, so he's come in to help a little bit. Harry across the line, 105.6, Freaky 108.6. Those two racing in the Mercedes, both reserves. Checo on an out lap. There's the Alpha Tauri that's coming round. This is Glad's. Goes P2 at the moment on 105.8. I'm sure he'll be in the 104s before the end of the session. Jan, and there's a Red Bull as well. I think that's Baz. Yeah, definitely, Vice. Say you're welcome every week if you want. It's that's what you want to do if you're free, I guess. You might have other stuff on, so, you know, just let me know if you want to come in, you can come in. So then, Baz, we'll do a hilly hot lap with Baz, so DRS open, heading up to turn 1, keep it out to the left so that you can turn in, good angle into the corner to allow a better exit out all the way up the hill to the hairpin. Probably the most important corner on the circuit to get right. It's again, it's all about the exit. Open up DRS once more. DRS settings around here. It's actually about 2/3 of the track is DRS around here at Austria, which is why it's so difficult to get at somebody's 1 second. Never easy. As Glad goes faster, having done a second lap on his tyres at 105.6. We headed through turn 4, the right-hander, late apex, into the two left-handers, very fast left-hand corners. You want to have your differential low through these corners, probably around about 55%. Exit through to the penultimate corner. A little bit blind on the inside, so you've got to trust yourself with your turn in, and then keep it over to the left for a good turn in, but use the curb on the outside as well, ideally. Open up the DRS and head across the line to a 106.2. As the two Mercedes appear to have clashed together, and one's got a 5-place grid penalty. Double Tornado now our championship leader. So, give you a heads up on next to say it is a championship battle. So we've got Golden Tornado here. Just going to bring the championship up. Across the line, 105.7. Again, I'm positive we'll see a lot more from him before the end. Another one very easily capable of a 104. Jan. And here goes standing, so... Oh, sorry, I got it wrong. Jan is the current championship leader into this final race of the season. But there's only 1 point separating them, so effectively, with only 9 drivers, it's almost a case of whoever finishes the highest wins. Unless they were to finish like... I don't know actually. No, there's nothing with 1 point between them. Well, it'd be 9th and 10th, and 10th isn't available. So yeah, no, whoever finishes highest out of Jan and Golden Tornado today then wins the title. No Constructors battle on today, it is just the... It's just the drivers today. Jan did go fastest on a 105.4. Nicolaus back out on an outlap, so we'll move to him. Right. Glad, yes I do. I'll sort that in Discord with you after, buddy, or so. Well, not after. Because I go. Oh no, actually, I should have a bit of time after today's race before I do the next stream. So yeah, I do in a way. Sort that out with you. Are you serious? You got told you have to retire from art for being too quick? That's insane. Pathetic, actually. Sounds like I'm better out there than me, to be honest with you. I was a bit upset when it first happened, as I think most people know after a little bit of revenge that I went for, but yeah, actually, with some time to think it over, some time to reflect on it, I'm actually very glad I'm out of there now. I did an unbelievable amount for that league for what happened, so literally treated so badly that I just it's actually put me off ever really being a proper admin again, if I'm honest. It's a shame. Is invalidated. Freaky. It's on a natural lap. Right over to the left hand side here, turning in quite late. So quite a late apex there, but it's not. It is one of those corners where you really do need to hang it out left on the entrance to maximise your turn in and maximise the exit. Actually, we know Austria, without doubt, is one of the easiest tracks of the season. It's I'm not sure there is any easier track than Austria, to be honest, but taking a second off the TV, so who else we got? Anybody? Tornado. Well, that was in Arc Vice Racing where it's too much to explain, mate. In a I'd be talking about it for ages, so I don't want to start that conversation. But yeah, was a great league. It really was a great league, but it's just going down the pan rapidly. So Tornado across line, goes fastest 105.2. I think Jan is also on a lap, 7 tenths up basically. Freaky goes 105.0, goes fastest. And who's up DRS here, Jan, cross line 104.6, that's more like what I was expected to see tonight. Those lads. Last part of the lap. Didn't actually see his sets of 2 times, so I'm not sure if he's improving. All looks good through the final sector. It's a 105.3, which puts him P4 for the moment. Probably with one more run left to go. There's Harry getting on, just slightly up through sector 2. That was a bit wide on the exit, so that's invalidated. Xian running behind him, but he's on an in lap. Sorry, what about Checo? Three tenths up through sector 1. Big game in sector 1. It happens, Glitch. It is one of those games. You can't just put it down for 3 months and then go back to it and expect it to be exactly the same, can you? It's you've got to keep your eye in regularly on it, and you with F1, I think. I don't think if you just played for like every day for a couple of weeks, you'd be back where you were, mate. It wouldn't take you long. It's just keeping the standard up does take practice. So, over the line for Checo then, 106.4, that's an 8/10 improvement on his previous time. It stays P9, but it's a much better competitive time than the previous one. And of course, should still have one run left. Because to reach the pits in and out quite easily. It's Radical Teapot. Yeah, Jan, well, it's a very good time Jan's set there, to be fair to him. So, yeah. But you've been like that a bit throughout the season, Tyrannical. You have been consistent through in the races, so that's been probably your strongest part, I would say. Maybe need a good start as well, because you don't want, if Jan's quick today, you don't want to disappear, and that would be the... Oh, he's in here in Checo, so... Well, Tyrannical Teapot, or... On your screen, Tyrannical Teapot, by the way, in the chat there is actually Golden Tornado, so the same person, so just so you all know. Go to him, he's going to be next to start a lap, his final run of the afternoon. I think that's a fair shout glitch, to be fair. So 36 laps today. Slightly worrying. Disqualified from Sesha for driving the wrong way. It's appeared that he had a spin, so maybe he's trying to get back on track. Game can be a little bit like that sometimes. So, it's turn 1. I feel like I just caught the inside, the sausage curve part a little bit. See what his sets of 1 times like. Still 3 thousandths up. Never expect to see much of a gain in sets of 1. It literally is just turn 1 and then accelerate up the hill, so it's not much scope for improvement normally. Sectors 2 and 3 are where the more technical corners are, so that's where you tend to gain the time a bit more. With sector 2 split and his 10th up. It's actually been moved up to P2 in a way, Golden Tornado, because of the disqualification, the free key. Again, it touched the sausage curve, but it didn't seem to affect him too badly. 105.1 from Golden Tornado, so consolidates that P2 position. Loco slightly up through sector 1. Goes on into his, what? Free key. Kufergo clearly backs out his lap. Start and let's. Oh wow, Jan's getting another half attempt from sector 2. Just to get away with the wide on the penultimate corner. Across the line, goes 16 thousandths quicker of a 104.676. Nicely done. Almost a full half a second faster than P2, which it's not been throughout the season, to be fair. That's not surprising. That's just sets it correct, slightly through the final corner. Cross line 105.182. Here's P3, who stays P3. Loco having another go. Oh, that's gonna hurt in the final corner. He just got out of sorts. Does improve, but only by 5 thousandths, but stays P4. Harry is improving. Good, just needs a little bit more in the final set to displace Piccoloco. Runs out wide on the penultimate corner and backs out. So, it's the end of that lap. And why have you got to do that? And Tornado into the pits. Oh wow, really? Brighton are 2-0 up. That's 5 minutes. Well, fair play to Brighton. What a season they've had. They're absolutely, as far as I know, everybody, you know, raves about Eddie Howe this season and what he's done at Newcastle, but Brighton are right up there as well. I mean, what a job they've done. Superb. Slightly worried about their signings coming up, mine. They're going to sign James Milner, which is like a... I mean, the guy must be nearly 40 years old by now. They've already got Danny Welbeck. He's the other one as well. Whatever. Unbelievably, can you believe Danny Welbeck is only 32 years old? I mean, that's... feels like he's been around for forever. Right then. So it's pole for Jan, P2 for Tornado, Glad's in 3, Piccoloco 4, Harry in P5, Glitch 6, Baz is 7, Cheku in 8, Freaky in P9 after the disqualification. Incidents. There we go. So, no break, guys. So, don't have a break really in this league. So, we'll be straight on with it as soon as you're ready. Nation lap is on, so I'm gonna just make myself another coffee. Okay, there we go. Right, okay. Let's go to tyres as Jan spins round. For no apparent reason. That's something. I don't know, by the way. I'm in a sort of a network of leagues. Not officially a network yet, but that's what we're kind of looking to do. And that's something we're clamping down on in our leagues is spin-on formation. And anything that tries to give yourself a little advantage, that's something we're clamping down on. It's just a little thing for putting some board. Anyway, Jan's starting on the hard tyre, as is Glad. Everybody else is on the mediums. And 3-0 now. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, fair play to him. Perfect timing since fights. I'm host, so nobody's got the host advantage tonight. Any everybody else that might be watching this, where I'm in your league and I'm your commentator, if anybody is watching it or you watch it back, no, don't come to me asking me to host the races. I mean, I'm getting away with this one because there's only 9 cars on track, so it's not that hard, but my internet's actually terrible, so I'm not the person who asks normally. Anyway, all the lights on, and away we go. And everybody seems to get away pretty similarly. Got the Tornado though, does pick up the speed towards turn 1. Seemed a bit tentative though, he seemed to get alongside, but then seemed a bit tentative actually making a move, and Glads is trying to take advantage of that. Tornado does not want to lose this place, ideally, with Glads being on hards. Glads gets the better exit, which is normal for the car that tends to be on the higher line. Glads does get ahead. As Tornado looks to come back, a little bit of contact. Nothing major though, just a little bit of contact. Tickle. Continue through the 2 lefts. I don't want to do this too much. He needs to get. I think he would be feeling right now that he needs to get past because he's got to hold on to Jan. So starting on the opposite strategy, really, it should be Tornado's sort of early part of this race, and then Jan would normally then have to fight back at him later on, but yeah, even that time, okay, Tornado looks like he's got this done. To me, it's his corner, and he has got this done, but this will have hurt him early in the race. Jan has pretty much a 1.8 second lead. Tornado will want to try and get that back within a second, otherwise he's just going to be vulnerable to Glads every time. So as you can see, the whole field staying on. Harry and Freaky both retired, or disqualified I should say. It's probably a good thing, I think. Seemed like they were more interested in messing about, so Lads will look to hold on to the back of Tornado. He won't be too bothered about getting past again at this point. Lads can just hold on to the back of him. Got a massive ERS advantage at the moment, just over 40% advantage. So Jan at 2 seconds, Jan will pretty much just want to hold this gap now. Don't want to be using energy. May need it later in the race. So if your energy at about 50%, it's not bad. When you pit, obviously you do get, I don't know, about 20% back, I'd say, roughly ish. 20 to 30% in a way. Our main battle, but as I said, the whole field stayed close still so far. See from that angle, it's only Jan at the moment that's sort of pulled out a bit of a lead. That's getting closer up the straight. Not on this occasion, but it's Picoloco now on the back of Glads that's looking to get involved. He's on the mediums as well. It was only those two that started on the hards, remember? So Jan and Glads on the hards. Everybody else on the mediums. So there is the potential that later on, when these guys pit, if this is a safety car free race, there is the potential that when they pit, the others could... when they pit, that they could look to undercut the two guys on hards. But obviously, that would be why it's important for Jan to hold the gap he's got, really. Checo has a little bit of a spin at the second of the two left-handers. Pretty commonplace for a little spin, if I'm honest. There, what's happened? Now you can see he's on the gap up to 2.5 seconds now. Whatever it was he had that was allowing him to be sort of half a second quicker in qualifying, he appears to have it in the race as well. But he knows about the track that maybe others don't. Lads again, looks at DRS. They said, if you remember in qualifying, I said about 2/3 of this track, or 2/3 of the lap is DRS. So I think we get it at the final corner into turn 1 and pick it up again straight out of turn 1 up to here. Use it obviously for the corner. And again, oh, as Picoloco suddenly appears on the left hand side. Pick it up again. I've never worked out the actual distance that it's DRS, but it must be about 2/3 of the lap, roughly. Little battle here between Glads and Picoloco. Glads retakes the line. No contact, so I guess that was just a battle, right? Generally, the way I look at that is, if you want to retake the line, if the proximity arrow turns white, then you can retake the line. If it stays red, you can't. That's the way I work, and I think that's the way most leagues work on their way they do it. Sort of what's become known as the red arrow rule. And Glad's just added a bit of a wobble out of turn 1 there, which may encourage Picoloco, although we did pick up 3 seconds. Picoloco. Here about that 3 seconds. You want to keep that to a minimum, so try and make sure you don't pick up another. But ultimately, it's not difficult to pick up penalties around here, if I'm honest with you. So I'd be massively surprised to see sort of half the drivers at least with penalties by the end of it, I would have thought. But the field seems to be splitting into two a bit. So we've got a yellow flag. That's Baz. And that allows Checo up to P6. I'm going to say that the field seems to be split into two at the moment. The top four in one battle, the next three, well, not really in another battle. I suppose Checo and Baz are, but Glitch, because of the two behind him have had a spin, he's ended up sort of on his own a little bit now as Glitch. It's maybe with no practice, that's where he'd like to be, is to drive around a bit on his own a little bit. That's there's been a lot of debate while this game's been out, F122, about the whole traction, using traction faster, no traction, and all that sort of thing. I think the ultimate answer to that is no, because in the most part, you look at the leaderboards on the time trial, the guys at the top are no traction. If you look at esports, they're the quickest guys in the world, they're no traction. So I think the overall answer is definitely no. But that being said, it's a bit different to those guys and guys like me that use no traction. It's you know, don't have that sort of skill level. So that's, I think, is where the debate is. But what is being said is that on F123, it really will be a disadvantage on F123 to use full traction, or any traction for that matter. They are saying that it will be a case that the more assists you can have off, the better, the quicker you can be, which is good. And that makes sense. The other thing I have heard, which I don't know is such a good thing, is obviously the other sort of contention is whether wheel or pad is quicker, and without doubt wheel's quicker, but 23 is apparently going to have a pad assist, which will pad players can turn on, which will allow them to be quicker than without, which I don't agree with. That shouldn't be built in. I just got to change my batteries quick. Okay, rookie mistake there, rookie mistake. Commentator, make sure you change your batteries in your pad before you start. Still happy to sit in the back, on the back of Golden Tornado, and look at the energy. Look at the energy. Look at Glad's energy. 95%, effectively full. That says to you that he's not really, at the moment, that bothered about making a move. We're at a point now where probably should be. Designs on winning this race. He needs to catch Jan, so he needs time to be able to do that if he's got any chance of winning it. But Glad catches that inside curve on the second of the left-handers, and that was a bit close. Again, think this time he's going for it, you know. Yeah, look. Energy on. Outside. Tornado determined to allow him past. So, yeah, you've got to say, in order to defend that, Tornado's energy's got... Tornado's straight line speed's got to be serious here. Must be running low downforce, which is... could explain why Jan's getting away, because he's able to extend it through the corners. And with Tornado not having DRS to keep on the back of him. So, having learned from that, maybe Glads will choose to just hold off a little bit and perhaps even wait for Tornado to pit and use the energy to put in some fast laps while he pits. It's a funny thing though about Austria is the mediums can do 20 laps around here pretty easily, so potentially it could be a track where you might see 16 laps on hards and 20 on mediums rather than the other way round. It's depends on strategies. You normally keep it to about level, so probably about 19 on hards, 17 on mediums, 20 on hards, 16 whatever it might be. But it just means there's that the option is there if you decide that for strategy reasons you want to do that. So what I'm thinking here, of course, is like obviously Glads could potentially take an early stop to go down the mediums to be able to get that undercut. As I say, with the energy that he's got, he could look the other way around and look to overcut instead, as Jan sticks in fastest lap of the race, 107.5, despite the ever increasing wear on those tyres. That was lap 13 that he's just completed. Now the hards actually, to be fair, will probably be feeling pretty good right now. I've always found that the hards seem to get better, they seem to feel better the older they get, until they reach a certain point and then they go over the edge, but seems to be away from me, but yeah. Just to mention further down, we do still have a little battle going on. So Baz and Checo are having a little battle between themselves for P6. Piccoloco was in. He's the first to pit, so he's looking to undercut. Makes sense if you're the car on the back of the, the back car of the three, to try and undercut the ones ahead of you. So he's obviously pitting off in the mediums. So really, it's Golden Tornado, if anyone, that would react to that. But not sure he will. See how he goes. Just want to give these guys a bit of time, but Glads is having another go. He's down into turn 4. Has he got it done, or is he going to come back? He's still on the inside, but I think that tells us that the mediums probably have reached a point where they're beginning to lose time on the hards now, so the grip has deteriorated too much. So is Golden Tornado going to react to Piccoloco? No, he doesn't. So I'm not surprised at that. I'd have been a little bit surprised if he came in immediately after, but I will allow Checo Piccoloco the opportunity to try and undercut these guys. Just looking down, he's coming out the final corner now, Piccoloco, so he's not a million miles away from him. So he has just picked up a 3-second penalty though. And of course, no doubt his outlap would have been a bit slower as well, being changed to the hards. So I suspect the Golden Tornado opted to stay out that lap. Ultimately, he had DRS off of Glads, so the opportunity to have the DRS, the extra straight line speed, but now he's out of DRS. I've got a feeling we'll see him move to the inside to make the pit stop this time. No, stays out. Well, he may be staying out because I think it's raining. It is raining. Okay. Well, in that case, did Piccoloco not check the weather report? Someone forgot to check the weather, didn't they? And no wonder Tornado is staying out. If that's the case, why didn't everybody start on hard? So I'm amazed. So it's quite clear now. Glads has passed Tornado. Clearly got the better grip. Maybe we're back down to Spazzacheco because they're the guys that are giving us a battle right now. This rain looks like it's going to affect it pretty quickly to me. I don't think this is going to take long. Doesn't look that hard from the camera angle. Just the way the cars seem to react into the hairpin there tells me it's already affecting them a bit. See the drip down the camera there. Into the second of two left-handers. And see ahead of us, Checo just runs a bit wide out of there. Again, it's another sign to us the rain is affecting the grip slightly. So clearly not enough yet for them to pit, and I'd agree with that. As picks up DRS once more. Doesn't do anything for him, does it? Picks up the DRS just in a bit of time. Well, Checo runs wide in the hairpin, but you still get a decent exit in comparison. Again, Baz couldn't get close enough, but Checo seems to run wide again. He does seem to be suffering a bit, does Checo, but runs wide in there as well. Gaps if you're going to become very inviting for Baz. Guys ahead of us have all stayed out. It's got to be getting. I don't think we're there yet, but I think we're getting close. Oh, and again, Checo in a little bit of trouble on the exit there. Of course, if by some miracle it never gets wet enough, I guess Piccoloco made a great shout, wouldn't he? Oh, here he comes then. Here comes Baz. Chose not to use any energy, which it seemed like he braked really early, but actually Checo seemed to brake late and ran him wide again, and that has allowed Baz through. It seems to me like Checo's not adjusting his braking points. Oh, careful, touching that curb. Oh! Said careful to the wrong driver. Baz ends up in a wall. Is that going to be a safety car? It is. It's a full safety car. Golden Tornado will be going, yes, come on, needed that. Jan will be saying, oh, really? Jan's 10-second lead will deteriorate and disappear. Now, the big question, what do you pit to? Do you pit to enters? Or do you pit to dries? It's... always a difficult decision. In fact, my race last night had this scenario in it, but a bit later in the race, I chose to pit to Inters. It was the wrong decision, and I lost a lot of places because of it. So Jan in. What's he going to go to? Mediums. So he's gone to slicks. Well, what does Tornado do? If he goes to Inters, this could be interesting. Let's see. No, he's gone. I think he's gone to hards. So they don't feel that this rain is hard enough to get us onto Inters. I thought it was getting quite close, but clearly not. Just shows when you're watching, difference when you're watching compared to, you know, you've actually in control, got the feel of the car. So Glitch has gone to Inters, so he's taking a risk, and why not? This could win in a race. Worst case scenario, he finishes 6th. Best case scenario, he wins the race. So, you know, why not? Stick the Inters on, give it a go. Got to be worth a shout, hasn't it? So no, it hasn't, Teapot, but it's it is raining, but how long? Australia's a strange place. I will be honest, I did have a race here myself where I gained a lot of places because I never switched to Inters at any point. Piccoloco is in from the lead. He's giving up the lead, so yeah, he's going to put his other set of mediums on. So Piccoloco is in complete agreement. So, yeah, I see. Okay, I get it now. I get what you mean on Tornado. So, okay, yeah. On a medium, the scamboard it would absolutely chuck itself down, and you know that wouldn't be a problem. But now, of course, you're stuck on hards, and everybody else is going to be on mediums. Apart from Glitch behind you, who's gambled on Inters. Track doesn't appear to be getting wet enough. Well, safety car might stay out another lap here. Checo is just coming down to turn 4. Safety car coming through 8. I believe it is. 4, 5, 6, or 7. Yeah, we're reaching the penultimate corner now, the safety car has, so I expect the safety car to stay out. So, Glitch has got a decision to make. It's his last opportunity. Tornado, was that Tornado in? I think it is. Last opportunity to pit. He does, and he goes to mediums. I must admit there, when Tornado came into the pits then, I honestly thought that was going to be, well, I'm going to go, I've honestly thought he was just going to go to Inters and say, sorry, I'm going to try, I'm just going to go for it, go to Inters and just hope it gets wet enough while you're still in safety car range, pit stop range. So safety car is in this lap. But in all fairness to him, I think he probably has made the right decision. The track doesn't look like it's even getting wet, let alone... Looks like the camera's getting wet, but not the track. So, Glitch may have to be a bit careful on this restart. He's stuck on the inters. There he goes. So off we go. Obviously, remember there won't be any DRS on the next 2 laps. Activate again on the 3rd lap. As oh, was that? Who was that? Was that Checo or? Yeah, I think that was Checo. Ran out wide on turn 1. Maybe that was just a glamorous way of letting his teammate through, perhaps, without making it look too obvious. Back in the days when you weren't allowed to, so you had to sort of, oh, I made a mistake, and went off track to do it. This is where the challenge starts, though, for Tornado. He's got Pick a Loco, Glitch on the inters, who at the moment, to be fair, he's only just dropped a second behind Glad, so it clearly isn't that far away from inters. It's clearly still dry enough for the dries, but it's clearly not far away from the inters, so this really does get too wet for the dries. Glitch could have made the best move of all time here. Presumably, something Glitch will move for his teammate. I'm not. Well, I suppose technically, actually, Glitch stopped racing, didn't he? So I suppose he's reserving tonight. So I suppose technically he's not his teammate. Glitch will sense this as a genuine chance. If it, so he won't particularly want to move over. He's doesn't want to just give away time, because it may be the case that it does get wet enough for interest, but not wet enough to force the slick drivers to pit. In which case, you may need to catch them and pass them on track for the win. At the moment, quite interesting. "11 laps to go. Oh, picks up 3 seconds in turn 1. Jan is continuing his free reign form, and he is extending the lead to Glads. So it's just approaching 2 seconds. Pico Loco's just dropped a second off a Glitch. Well, oh, Glitch picks up 3 seconds. At the moment, Glitch isn't catching the guys ahead of him. He's not really losing time, but he is getting away from Piccoloco. Tornado's in, and I'm not surprised. I think he has to. So he's right. Tornado is in. He's switching to inters. Now he's going to hope that the guys at the front decide to stay out. And at some point, this gets way, way too wet. But at a point where he's made up enough time that he can jump them. So on to inters, and that, guys, is what you call the last roll of the dice, I think. But it could be a good one. He's definitely pitted right. Glitch is catching Glads. Slowly. Very slowly, but he is catching him. how much of an undercut can he get? And I think the answer to that may lie in, do these guys cut? Well, Jan's on the right. I think Jan is pitting, Glad's staying out. I think Jan's done the right thing. Jan has to pit because Glad's, it doesn't really matter to Jan. Glad's is just trying to win today's race. The last race, incidentally, where he is the current champion. But Jan, of course, is fighting for this championship and has to finish ahead of Golden Tornado and vice versa. Tornado has to finish ahead of him. So I don't think the undercut's not big enough that Tornado's going to make that time up and get ahead of him. This first lap, remember. So that dot in the distance is Jan having come out of pits, but bear in mind for this lap, Jan may just be a little bit tentative on the inters, not sure exactly how they're going to perform. Whereas Tornado's got that one lap of experience. So, from what we're seeing here, Glads doesn't have a choice. He's got to pit because he can't win this race by staying out. So, it's hemorrhaging time now to glitch. So he does stay out. He's hemorrhaging. Maybe he's thinking along the lines, well, the 3 cars directly behind me all have penalties, so maybe look at Checo getting completely out of sorts on the mediums out of the final corner. Well, hindsight is a wonderful thing, and only Glitch felt that the track may be getting wet enough for intermediate tyres on that safety car. So with hindsight, they'd have all changed now, but it's certainly made. It may have only had a small amount of drivers, but it's certainly made for a very interesting last race, this has. Can you believe that Glitch? Lads picks up a penalty, he's trying so hard, but this has reached the point of you've got to come in now. You've given it a shot, but it's just not happening. Checking the rear wing now, so I didn't see the BRS deactivated come up, but I think that's because it never ever reactivated after the safety car. So it's going to be a bit of a sitting duck here. Out of the corners, look, that seems to be where the grip is on the inters at the moment. He seems to be coming out of the corners a lot faster than Glads can. There you have it. Oh, he's just run out wide as Glitch. Keep it steady, keep it steady. Not a major thing. It's not a major thing. He's done the right thing. He's just kept it going in a straight line. He can rebuild now. Got to give it to Glitch, haven't you? The fact that he's been out for months without playing the game, and somehow just doing incredibly. Loco picks up 5 seconds heading in for his set of inters and retires in the pits. It amazes me. On lap 31 or 36, you may as well complete the bloody thing. I don't get that. It really annoys me, actually, I'm not going to lie. That's been a big problem for WRL, to be honest, throughout the season, is people just tiring, not bothering to turn up, all that sort of thing. That's what has made things very hard for Bob Dylan getting this league to go. It's such a shame. He's got a league here with ridiculously fast drivers in it, with an esports team and everything, but can't get regular drivers on the grid for a race every week. To race properly, that's the point. Well, Lads is extending out a little bit. Now, is the track now drying again? I think it is. He's continuously extending. So, right, Tornado has been in. He's on softs. I missed that. Apologies, but I did miss that. So he's... That last roll of the dice that I mentioned earlier on is... There's been one extra one. He threw a double and got an extra go, so... He's gone to softs. Gap between him and Jan at the moment is 20... Basically 25 seconds. What does Jan do? Does he react and do the same or just cover it off? His DRS is enabled, so no, he doesn't. He stays on the inters. It's obviously going to depend just how quickly this track dries out, but Glitch is already 3 seconds behind Glads. What a weather scenario for the last race of the season. Since I told you that Tornado was 25 seconds behind Jan, he's already taken 2 seconds out the gap. Now it's 23, well, just slightly over 23. Signs from Jan that he's struggling at all. Only 22.5 now. I feel if he's going to come, he's got to do it now. And he hasn't. So he's committed. In my opinion now, he's committed to staying out because he cannot now, well, by the time he reaches the end of this lap, there's no way he'll still come out in front of Golden Tornado if he pits. So Jan is committed now to staying out. All Tornado could do is drive this track as fast as he can for the next few laps and see what happens. He'd be really aided if Jan were to pick up a penalty. That's something we could really use here. It seems unlikely, but that last lap, Tornado only took just over a second, so that's not enough. Lads has already pulled out nearly 8 seconds at the front to Glitch. Dan approaches the final corner. Glad sets fastest lap of the race. I suspect Tornado's probably going to break that when he comes round. Across the line this time, the gap is down to 19. Tornado's not across the line yet, so and now the gap's down to 18.5 seconds. As Golden Tornado does his PB. Didn't set fastest lap, but does do a PB. So, more then Jan the rest of this lap, see how he's faring at the moment. Does look at the moment as if it's just going to be too much. Tornado. Who could have guessed this weather? What an unbelievable race. Not for all the world like Glitch made the greatest decision ever in fast in pitting to the inters, and then all of a sudden the track dries out again. Let's head on to the final lap. Gap now, just, well, basically 16 seconds, so it's coming down, and if there were more laps on the clock, no doubt Tornado would catch him, but it's just not enough laps to do it. Without anything major happening, it looks like our champion is going to be Jan. Not at the moment, Vice Racing. No, it's still my headset. It's it will work. I just got to work out how to do it. But until I get the actual space sorted out, there's no point. Anyway, congratulations to TTB Glad, who takes victory in Austria incredibly by 15 seconds, which, if you've watched this race with me, just seems ridiculous. 16 seconds now. Okay, 19 with the pen. But Glitch takes P2. Jan crossed the line. Actually nicks P2 off a Glitch. And Glitch down to 3. Checo across the line for P4. And Golden Tornado is my... I've never awarded one before, but he is my driver of the season. In my opinion, he's the man that turns up. He's the man that races all the time and has raced really well all season. So he's going to take my driver of the season. Driver of the day will go to Jan. It was only Jan and Tornado that were penalty free. I always give my driver of the day to a penalty free driver. So my driver of the day is Jan. My driver of the season is Golden Tornado. That's enough of that silly dance, Glads. Glads takes the fastest lap as well with 107.114. Gets the full points haul today. And I'll just go on to the race director and scroll through the instance quickly. Just in case Bob Dylan and team need them. But there we go. It's all on stream, so Bob will be able to get everything he needs off of the stream for the standings, etc. But massive congratulations to Jan on your championship. Unbelievable. Glads, that was awesome. That was absolutely awesome. Thought that strike wouldn't work for us. It looked for all the world like Glitch had made the right call and going to inters, and nobody had realised it was going to be wet enough and all that. But then for it to dry out again, wow, what a race. I was a bit worried with such low numbers it wouldn't be a fun race, but that was absolutely fun. Really enjoyed that. Really glad. Tyrannical Teapot, mate, you've been absolutely fantastic all season, hence why I've given you my driver of the season, so well done, buddy. Unlucky today, it just one of those, it just wasn't to be, was it? Yeah. In a way, guys, as I said, I think the best thing I could say about that race is obviously when you get such a low number turn up, you think, oh, I've really got to do comms on this. As a commentator, you think, oh, is there really any point in this? I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really fun. That was interesting because of the weather changes and everything. And there was always a battle going on somewhere, so that was actually quite fun. I've got to be honest. Fair play to you boys for making it that way and for sticking with it as well. Again, congratulations to Jan on the championship and to Glads on the win, and of course you, Golden Tornado, as well on my driver of the season. So well done to you boys. I'll say something in the chat in just a second. Glads, I'll give you a message in a bit, buddy, about somewhere to race on a Saturday night. Yeah, is that just coincidence though? Golden Tornado? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's Austria does do that sometimes. It does throw up some weather scenarios there. I had a very similar one to that actually at Austria, where I gained loads of places because I stayed on the dries and it didn't ever get wet enough for intermediates. So the people that went to inters lost loads of time. So I had one similar where it didn't get wet enough in the end. But yeah, interesting now. That was great fun. I really enjoyed that. So fair play, guys. In a way, as always, guys, I'm live again at 8 o'clock for HRF1. So please come and join me for that as that battle in that league continues. Well, I'll be live a little bit before 8, but hopefully you'll get the notifications anyway. Thanks again to Will Spin Racing. I've said that this will probably be my last comms for WRL, which will bring it to an end quite a long period where I've been doing comms multiple seasons. So thank you to Bob Dylan WRL for that. It's not an absolute definite yet, so don't be 100% sure on that. I will speak to Bob. It's just it feels a little bit at the moment like the league's just dying a little bit of a death, and people just don't seem to be interested anymore. But we'll see what happens, because he may have plans. So anyway, thanks very much, guys, to all of you that stuck with me through the broadcast. Thanks to everybody that watches the stream back at a later point. I really appreciate it. As I said, I'll be back in just over half hour's time for HRF1. I will see you then. Good night. God bless.